What's up, good peoples? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Welcome everybody to episode 51. This is gonna be a great show. It might be kind of touchy too, but we're gonna get through this, y'all. Listen, before I bring out the panel, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. I need you guys to, if you on Facebook, I need you guys to literally share this live. If you on YouTube, which we prefer, make sure to like the video. Just go stop by YouTube, just like it. Please subscribe to the channel. We still growing this channel. With the help of you guys, we are 700 and something members on YouTube, so we still growing. And yeah, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. But of course, this is no show without my amazing panel. And let's see who we bringing on. Of course, we're gonna always introduce the ladies first. Let's see. She had black long hair last week, and guess what? She got dreads this week. Everybody, welcome Shay to the show. Got a little leopard going on. You ready for the show?
Always ready.
All right, now ain't gonna cuss nobody out, right? Because you know,
I'm an angel.
Okay. Look at her. See. All right, come on. We got little Miss Sunshine and the yellow to the show. Miss D, what's up with it?
What's up, everybody?
You ready? You ready?
Always.
Bring that A game.
Sunshine with the storm.
Right. Then she got the little yellow in the background and all that. We see it.
No, you know.
All right, we got the man with the plan, Nate the Great, is back. What's up, man? The hardest working man. What's going on, bro?
Just
making all that money, huh?
I'm trying to be like y'all.
Hey, man. Hey. So look, everybody, again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. What's up, everybody in the comments? Will, what's going on? He says, waiting to be on the show. We got you next week. Just be ready, man. Just be ready. All right, so listen. Y'all know we start the show off with an icebreaker, right? I'm not going to start the show off with an icebreaker. I want y'all opinion on something. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so, of course, I was scrolling through social media. And look what I found. And I want you guys' perspective on this. So I was scrolling through social media, seeing something on the Shade Room. And so look, woman that has been breastfeeding her husband since 2017 say it has made their relationship stronger. Now, I got a couple questions on this. I didn't know y'all produce milk that long. That was number one. I did not know that you guys produce milk that long. And question, do it taste like regular milk? I mean, I'm just confused why I'm just confused.
It's a different kind of heavy cream taste.
Okay, so have somebody ever breastfed you? Or do you still remember that as a kid? Is it so?
I used to be a player.
and so you actually was breastfed before?
I wouldn't say breastfed, it just kind of happened.
Oh. All right, so it's not like regular milk.
No. I mean, it ain't nothing I want to try again.
It almost kind of make me curious to see what it tastes like. Is that nasty?
I mean, it's kind of I'll put you like this. I'm just gonna be blunt. It's like that carnation milk in the motherfucking can.
Oh, what's that? Pet milk, right?
So,
evaporated milk.
So as a baby, you don't know no different. You just sucking in.
Yeah, you don't know. Oh my God. Yeah. So listen, ladies, I didn't know y'all can produce milk that long. What is your perspective on that? Because he said he did it. When I read it, it said he did it because her breast hurt.
No grown ass man my milk from my city.
But what if that make the bond closer?
Man, I don't give a damn. No.
So hold on, this how happened to me. I was with a chick that had a baby the baby's like 6 months, right? In relations, a man kind of like to suck on some things, and that's kind of what happened. I didn't know it was gonna, be what they call lactating or whatever. I don't know this shit.
But I thought she's still healing down. She's still healing, right? Oh,
I think women always produce milk.
No, but I'm saying she still wasn't supposed to be doing the nasty. She's still on her little.
It's like
Nate said he didn't care. He said,
"Hey, she was 6 months out, so
she was 6 months out. I mean,
okay,
that thing she busted open.
Oh, Wow. Look at Shay. Shay, did you okay? Let me ask you guys this. Did y'all breastfeed y'all kids or no?
I did. I breastfed Mac.
To
I
how long?
breastfed for like 2 weeks.
He was about a year and a half.
But she been breastfeeding. What's that? 18, 19,
So
20,
you can
6 years?
I can breastfeed now if I take lactating pills. You
Oh,
don't have
really?
to be pregnant to lactate.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you had
Yeah.
to be pregnant to lactate.
Yeah, you can if you can go take medicine to lactate. So you don't have to be pregnant to do that. No.
Oh, I see. Hey, I didn't know that. You just taught
Hey,
us
I don't
something.
want to breastfeed that. It hurt.
That's
Like
weird
your
to me.
breast,
Okay.
so it hurts. I
Wow.
It in the beginning, but you have to definitely get used to that. Like even when McCullen was teething, like I had to teach him not to bite because naturally they're gnawing because they're teething.
Yeah.
So what's the
You have-
what's the cutoff? What's cutoff? Like 1 or 2 years? Like 1 years?
Well, some people breastfeed up until their kids are 4.
yeah.
Oh hell, are you
What?
serious?
No,
Mhm.
you mean actually? You mean they pump the milk out, or they actually breastfeed?
That
They
actually
can do either
breastfeed.
one.
Yeah.
No, I think that's too extenuous.
But your big ass on there grown as hell. So make it make sense now, Nate. Come on.
Hello.
Nate said he
Hello.
30 something sucking on it. He don't want you to if you can't you gotta save some milk for him.
Well, no. I don't care about the milk. It's about the foreplay. Man, I suck on titties. I like titties. I ain't trying to suck milk out of them. Areolas. I mean, I'm just now y'all start talking about milk and shit. It's a whole different game.
Right.
Now that,
So listen, guys. If you just joined the show, we opened up the show because we saw something. This lady here, it says woman that has been breastfeeding her husband since 2017 said it has made their relationship stronger. So Shay said y'all could take lactate pills. So I guess if y'all relationship is going down the drain, go get you some lactate pills and and breastfeed them.
Not if your relationship going down the drain.
Hey. All right, so listen, y'all, we about to get into it. So today's episode is episode 51 and single parenting in today's family. Oftentimes than not, you hear about or see, I'm sure at least one of us, we all know someone who was a single parent. My mom was a single parent. And she I seen the struggle that she went through being a single parent.
Mhm.
And it wasn't just with my dad but my other siblings father as well, and so I know firsthand how strenuous that can be. But also I know some great dads that are single parents and the woman isn't the best. So I guess my question, we can open up the show by saying, why is it that it's so many single parent households? I know Nate and I talked yesterday and he made a lot of sense. He was stating that a lot of people shouldn't really, if they have, a lot of people have sex, but they have kids. And it's almost like that thing where how people jump into relationships but they realize after they have sex they better as friends. And I think it's that same thing. But then Miss D brought up something that was like, hey, you don't know that the guys gonna be the way that they're gonna be because they act different before they have the kid. Do you think that how women has postpartum? Is there something that can be post for dads that kind of mentally, I don't know. Why do you think there's so many single parent households?
I think it's a variety of things. You just can't pinpoint one thing. It's a variety of things. Like we talked about, yesterday for a little bit. Like Miss D was saying, you don't know how when a baby come into effect, how the dynamics of what you think a relationship is going to change, for the good or for bad, for men or for women, right? Like we also, you got a lot of men who they get scared away whenever baby, they got to face responsibility when a baby comes along, and they some of them run, or the dynamics of a relationship was never there from the beginning. So you got two single people raising a kid in a single parent household. You know, there's a lot of dynamics.
What's your perspective, ladies?
You can go, Misty.
Being a
I was
single
listening to
mother.
Shay.
Okay. I don't like to I like to see if you would like to go before me. I'm gonna have to agree with Nate. It's so many different reasons why families have single parents households. I sent you a clip yesterday of a video where one of the YouTuber guys was saying moms moms want their the dads to leave and they run them off, and this crazy narrative that women don't want the dads to be in the households. Why? He really didn't have a real reason. I honestly think when it comes to the younger generation, and like not even younger but mid generation to young, society has made it so easy for our men to leave, like just to, they don't make them feel bad about it. Nobody talks about it. These boys dads are not saying, hey, you need to go take care of your kid, like you need to go be in your kid's life. They're not talked down on. It's almost like
It's
it's
no,
okay.
it's
Yes,
normal.
it's okay. It's not a big deal, and nobody's really bringing it to the forefront. And the saddest part is the men are not owning the accountability of, okay, that my kid can be living with his mom, but I'm gonna be a part of my kid's life. I don't necessarily like Blueface at all. I don't. I think he demeans women, but he only does what they allow him to do. So I can't be too mad at him. What I can say is he takes the ownership and accountability, whether some say he's a good dad or he's a bad dad, as far as what he allowed his children to see. He wanted to go see his son, and he went to go see his son. And it's like he said, I can't be the bad guy. I can't be that dad that don't care about my kid. I care about my kids. So unfortunately, there's not enough men out here that's saying, I don't like her, the mom, but I care about my kid. And it's not enough moms out here to say, I don't like his dad and I'm not going to keep him away from his dad. Or I'm not going to keep her away from her dad. So it's many variations.
But is it safe to say that most women keep the dad away from them? Because I know a lot of instances.
That's a false statement. Don't say most women.
No, because listen,
I don't.
I don't think you should say most. I think you should say some, because you do have some bitter women out here that will keep their kids away from their father. And on most instances, the dad is saying, the mom is bitter behind him because he's with someone else, but that child still deserves a right to be in in their father's life. The father still deserves a chance to be in that child's life.
Yeah, but oftentimes they're not. You see that, like it's like they have a kid, right? And I think both parents can't separate their personal issues, right? And then now the kid become the pawn of the relationship, right? I'm not gonna let you see your kid, and I'm gonna do everything I can to hurt you, and I'm gonna do what you call that, child, go to the friends of the court. I'm going to get you on child support. So then a guy who's actually trying to see their kid and do stuff, I think at some point they give up and say, you know what? Well, I'm trying, and hey, you taking money for me. Since you want to keep me out, then you go ahead. And I think, and I believe that that's a coward move? I do, because I think you should always fight for your kid, right? Whether you having a situation with the mom, or the mom having a situation, I think you should fight for the kid, because at the end of the day, the kid didn't ask to be here. It took two people to make the kid, and I think two people should be in that kid life. And if you guys not going to be together, it's a way to be amicable, or try to be amicable, and still raise the kids. Even if you guys don't see each other, you can drop them off at grandma's house. You can drop the kid off somewhere and stuff like that. But it just seems to me that there's a lot of single parenting households because maybe they didn't pick their spouse right. Is that safe to say?
I wouldn't say that. I just think dynamics change as you get older and things occur. It's kind of like Shay was saying yesterday. You get with a man or you get with a woman, you have a kid. You don't know what type of you may think you have an inkling of what that woman's going to be a mother or that guy's going to be a father, but until you're in the dynamics of it, you just don't know, and things change. I done seen instances where I got friends in all walks of life who they trying to see their kid. They go extra. The baby mama bitter because the baby daddy done moved on, so they hold the kids back. I seen where the baby daddy is mad at the woman because she moved on. She got a new man, and and it's just I've seen a lot of it, man. It's a lot of dynamics. You can't pinpoint and say why there's single parent households. There's a lot of dynamics. You got a lot of women out there that was abused by the father of their kid who think it'd be safer for them to keep the kid away from the man. You know what I'm saying? And for her well-being, I kind of see that. I seen all this shit growing up. I seen all this shit. It's safer for that woman not to have to relive that to keep that kid away than the thought of her getting abused again by that guy. You get what I'm saying? And the product of this came out. Was a kid.
Mm. That was a good point. Des said I was mad at both of them.
Go up.
Oh.
Yeah. So he talked about his mom keeping his dad away from him.
Okay, because she was bitter.
Yes.
Okay. But also my dad stopped trying, so both of them were at fault.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you a question, Dad. Let me ask you a question, because I know friends like that. They got older, and their dad actually tried to tell them, "Hey, I came for you. I sent you letters." And after a while, like Kevin was saying, the father kind of gave up because he's fighting to lose a battle. That don't mean he lost a kid,
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think so. I grew up in a single parent household. I know Miss D grew up in a single parent household. Now you and Shay had your fathers in your life. Like your father's still very active in your life.
But
go ahead.
But my mom passed away at 12, so I grew up in a single household on the other end of it. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have that motherly nurture of love. You get what I'm saying? So It was a single parent household, but it wasn't put single because of that. My mother passed away. My parents were married. My mom died of cancer. So I grew up on the other aspect of it, like not having a woman in the house to show me that she loved me. So that's that's a single parent household if you look at it that way.
But you still had a great dad, though. At the end of the day, still had a dad to step up. How many people can say that if something happened to the mom, that the dad would even step up? I know some dads, but most of the time, it's like the grandparent or something like that. Shay, you grew up with both your mom and dad in the household. Talk about that, because I was telling them like offline that I think for girls, I know they say guys need their father, and they do, but I think it's more importantly, I think women need their fathers, because I think their first love is their father, right? And so most women will get the guys that emulate who their father is, and most guys get women who emulate who their mother is. It's not like a mama's boy and a daddy's girl, even though boys need their dads and girls need their moms. But I believe, and I could be wrong, I think, because I guess my question to you is, because you had both your parents in the household and you grew up in a religious household, would you say that you didn't know, because you was married before, would you say that he showed you something different before you married? Of course he had to if you married him. He showed you. Yeah.
So going back to the father part, growing up in a two-parent household, I will say a dad is probably one of the most important people in any family. And I'm going to tell you why.
Versus the mother, or just?
Definitely versus the mother. Definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay, go ahead.
A dad is a double fold. As far as me, I was a daddy's girl. So everywhere my daddy went, I was there. Until he died, I was there. I was my daddy's first daughter. I was extremely close to my father. I didn't get close to my mom until I became an adult, because we was like this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We most of the time, and I'm on cases, moms become background noise to dads when they have daughters.
Mm-hmm.
The girls supersede the love. The daddies give all the love and affection to their daughters, and then the mom is kind of sitting over on the side, like, hey, I'm still over here. My daddy was my first person that gave me flowers. My daddy was the first man that told me he loved me. My daddy showed me what it was to have a family and provide for them, to love my mom, to nurture his family. No, was he the best dad in the whole wide world? No, but he was the best man that I knew and that I saw. So as I got older, yeah, of course, it was easy for me to see men and be like, okay, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. I don't want him, because I had an example what it was like to have a good man in the house. And that's why it's so important. And then catch foe with guys. When you have a good man in the house or a boy, again, he shows him how to be a man, how to, do tires, how to take out the trash, how to treat his wife, how to treat his children. He gets to learn all of that. And that's how you get two families that you can mend together that have great backgrounds that can bring up great children. But when you get a woman who don't know what it's like to have a good dad, that she's out here in the world dealing with anything,
Mm-hmm.
taking anything. When you have a man who doesn't know how to be a real man, that he's treating his women like shit. He's walking away from his children. He's not taking accountability and ownership. So that's what it is that's so important about a man in a household or a man in a kid's life, whether it's a girl or a guy. It's certain things that a mom, unfortunately, and I was a single mother, you just cannot teach. And that's
And
that
I
to a girl and a guy. You just can't
and I
teach
want
it.
I want to touch on what you just said. You get a lot of like being in my 40s and dating, right? You get a lot of women out here who never been loved properly, and it's lot of it's because they never been showed the right way from any man in their life. And what they seen their mom go through was like abusive relationships, so they think that love is arguing and fighting and being controlling and things like that. And it's not really normal. And like we talked about a little bit last night, I think that no matter if you got a little girl and you got a little boy, I think they need a strong woman and a strong man in their life. They need that strong man and a strong woman, whether it's a mother and father or a mother and her boyfriend or a boy. You kind of get what I'm saying? They need a foundation of a woman and a foundation of a man.
When it
And
was said that the man is the head of the house, um, I understand. Even though I am in a two-woman household, I understand. I'm knowledgeable enough to understand why it was so important that a man had to have a presence in a household,
Mm-hmm.
because he's really the key to the vote. He's the key. When you have a
mm-hmm,
strong man in a house, a woman will follow you with no fight, because she know you're capable of carrying that family to the next level. So you won't have to worry about her being strong. A strong man with a strong woman, he's going to appreciate that strength, because if he falls, guess what? He know I got somebody on the side of me that's going to be strong enough to carry us as a family. So it is important when women go out here and they look for, or not look, because you should never be looking for anybody as a woman. You shouldn't be looking. So at the end of the day, when your superhero come and find you and capture you and take you up and do all that good stuff, then cool. But you want somebody who's strong and capable of doing that. And the only way they'll be able to do that is that they had either some type of male figure. It doesn't have to necessarily be a dad, but some type of male figure that was positive in their life for sure.
Yeah, because I look and say that even though my dad wasn't there, I had a great uncle. My uncle Glenn that passed away. He was very instrumental, and my grandfather as well. Like I feel like my grandparents provided what both parents lacked. So I guess in a sense, yeah, I still probably I know I was missing that motherly love, but I was shown love through both my grandfather, my grandparents, and more importantly, my uncle. Um, Ms. D, question. So you a single parent, right?
I am.
And you've done a great job. You managed to um, go to school, get your master's, and you are a educator. As an educator and as an educator and as a parent, what can you provide as it relates to just your experience being a single mom and also what you see in the kids that comes to your classroom every day?
Well, I'll start with being a parent. For the first 10 years of my daughter's life, she did have a great male uh, in her life
Mm-hmm.
until he passed away. So that first 10 years of her life, she absolutely, because they were best friends. They were like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when he passed away, I didn't know how to deal with it, what to expect, or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter showed no emotions. Like I was like puzzled
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, she just lost the person. It's like one of the people that she's really close to,
Mm-hmm.
but she's she's still moving on without a male role model, and she's doing good to be a teenage girl. I feel like I've done a great job along with my mother, aunts, and sisters with raising her. As far as like my like students in the school now, you can tell that when kids don't have a father in their life, or you can tell like when a student has a positive male figure in their life, whether it's their dad, uncle, cousin, whoever it may be. But it's the acting out. They act out in different ways, and they try to reach for love and attention from different ways because they're lacking it. They're lacking that male role model.
Mm. Do you see a lot of parents? I know we talked about this when it comes to parent teacher conference, right? Or kids or parents dropping their children off. Do you see a lot of male role models coming into the classroom, dropping their kids off, or when this parent teacher conference, or like you said, you had meet the teachers, and I was astounded that out of 20, 30 kids that you teach, only 4 parents showed up. I mean, that's either parent is that I'm just
It's
baffled
parental.
by
We
that.
don't have in the area that I teach in. We don't have a lot of parental involvement, and it's so terrible that parents are not even trying to be involved in their children's education. Like whether you have to walk, however you have to get to your child's school to meet the teacher,
Hmm.
the person that they're with for more than 7 hours of the day, and you don't feel that it's a need for you to go meet them, that's a problem. My daughter is in high school and I still went to meet the teacher. I'm still going to parent comes and he's like, Mom, you don't have to come. Yes, I do. It's important to me. I need to know who's teaching you, who you're spending your days with.
Mm.
And it's terrible that we don't even have that. I remember one year I had a little boy, he played football.
Mm.
I used to talk to his coach because that was his male in his life. His
Wow.
coach, call me if you need me.
Wow, it's really it's really sad. And I also too believe that, I mean, his if you just want to go back to history, how our black families was broken up and the things that they used to separate black families. But and I might be a little biased when it comes to this, but I'm a person with I don't believe in excuses, right? I believe that if there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
If this is my child, right? I don't care if I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm still you my responsibility. So I think that being amicable, and that's the thing, people can't separate people in relationships can't separate their feelings from their emotions to their parental rights, their obligations. Yes, you probably was a shitty person in a relationship, but that does not mean that he or she is going to be a shitty person as a parent. And I hate to see that it's so many, and I know y'all probably gonna be upset. I see so many women doing that to guys, and I don't think it's fair. It's almost like how y'all say, how we say that when it comes to white and black, okay, if they call the police, it's going to, the police is going to side with them. I think women know that the friends of the court and the court systems is going to side with them. And I think they do that as a threat to men because, to be honest with you, and I'm just being honest, most men don't have rights. You know what I mean? it's they side with the women, and I think that's fair to say. Would y'all women say that or no?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
And I'm so glad you being honest because it's it is. I know great fathers that want to be in their kids' life, and a mom is just making havoc for them. And I think that we, like you said, one, we have to be honest. It's almost like you need a mediator when it's two parents and they going through stuff, and like sitting both parents there and say, listen, you have to. I understand this is what it is, but do you think parenting is off of emotion, or do you think parenting is off what they was taught growing up? I think it's
nowadays with these young mothers and young fathers, they don't even know how to parent. They're being the kids' friends, and that's where the issue is beginning.
It was one lady I was telling my sister about. I want to say it was a couple of months ago. She left and went to Miami for a week and left her 4-year-old at home, and the baby died. She left little snacks out and things, but 4 years old. And no, the baby didn't have a diaper change because nobody was there to change the baby's diaper. The baby ultimately died of dehydration because she didn't obviously leave enough bottles or whatever she needed to leave around for the baby. But it's like our world is so sad. You know, even I was getting my son's hair done. He's going to be 20 next week. And the girl who was twisting his hair said that Sexy Red was so cool. She was like, I love Sexy Red. And I asked her and I said, what about her do you love? And she said, oh, she keep it real. I said, what is it about her that you feel is real? Because society has put these girls out here like her and Sookie or whatever her name is, and all these other little different people who tries to make our girls believe that it is okay to, you know, be out here in the street popping bubble gum bent over. It's okay to have Pookie them or banging you all at the same time. You know, it's okay to have 5 baby daddies and 6 kids. It's okay. You know,
that shit is.
You can do all of this at under the age of 21 and you can still be okay. And that's where the whole you missing parents coming up to parent teacher conference because your kids is 10, they mamas is 16, and they grandmas is 24. So
And guess what they doing, Shay? And guess what they doing, Shay?
you don't have no structure.
They all partying together.
Yeah, they all listen to the same rap music. They all listen to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. I'm sorry, that Sexy Red's from St. Louis, and that bitch is some trash. Excuse my French. That's not a poster child for how we need our young women to be acting. I'm sorry.
It's not.
But this is what they're seeing, so they're thinking that it's right.
It is.
It's the wrong,
and it's not right at all.
You know, I grew up listening to gangster rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
NWA, Too Short. Too Short used to degrade women in his songs, right? But I also had somebody to tell me, my uncle's like, hey, that's a form of entertainment. You don't really need to do the stuff that he's saying. You kind of get what I'm saying? These kids out here living it
because we were taught right from wrong. They're not being taught right from wrong. They're teaching themselves. They're raising themselves.
You know what really irritates me? If I had a daughter, man, oh my God, my wife would probably, or girlfriend would probably, I'll probably be on child support, right? Some of the shit that these young mothers let their daughters wear, that they wear, is not appropriate. You know, halter tops, stiletto heels. You know, like some of these first going back to school pictures for some of these little girls and boys look like they's about to pull up at the club in Houston or something and pop bottles.
But you know what though? So I'm now about to play devil's advocate because I feel like the time that we grew up is different. So to see women, to see women with lipstick, right? Back then, girls was considered grown if they had lip gloss. Well, now these kids and got lashes and stuff like that.
But do you know why it's different?
Because we're in a different era.
No, do you know why it's different?
Social media?
It's social. Why is it different?
The age of mothers have totally changed. You had mothers who First of all, you had moms who was having babies when they was well in their 20s, whereas now you literally see. You remember they used to have schools separate for girls who was pregnant in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was embarrassment. You was literally embarrassed, and you tried to hide it almost until you was 8 months because you ain't want to go to that school over there and all the girls talk about you. Now they don't even have those schools no more because
They don't.
so many. No,
No, it's normal now.
It's
normal
normal.
now.
So now you have 16 and 17 and 14 and 15-year-olds that's having sex with these 25-year-olds, R. Kelly Juniors, going up to the school because the girls so hot in the ass because they don't have nothing to look forward to. They looking at Cardi B. They looking at Ari Fletcher, who's with Moneybag, when all these other little different girls that's out here, that's young and that's doing all this crazy nonsense, that's talking all this crazy nonsense, and telling these girls that it's you can be yourself. You be true to who you are. You ain't gotta be like that. And this is why we have such a multitude of 12-year-olds having babies and they 22 and their kids is 12.
So let me ask you a question, Miss Shay and Miss D, and tell me if I'm wrong, or maybe it's just me being hypocritical. But why does an 8 or 9-year-old girl need weaving her hair, fake nails, and wearing heels?
She don't.
That's my point
So
exactly.
me, if I had a daughter, and this is on everything I love, she would never.
She gonna have makeup on, Shay.
When I say she would never know people exist, she wouldn't have access to TV. She wouldn't have access to the radio. I would homeschool her. I know for a fact there is no.
But guess what, Shay? Sheltering her, it's not gonna do anything but make her sneak. So as a mother of a daughter,
right? You have
my daughter has had a cell phone. My daughter has had a cell phone since she was 5. Wow. We started going to the nail shop, getting nails and toes painted when she was young. I wouldn't let her get extensions or fake nails, but she could go get her nails and toes.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But
she's been wearing braids in her hair, like with weaves, since she was like 2 or 3. But I kept it for. Okay, I'm listening, Nate.
What about short shorts? I mean, 8 years old little girls, right? This is where I'm coming from with this, right? And that's another thing that and I'm gonna say in some of these communities that we don't let kids be kids as long as they can be kids. It's like we rush them to this shit, right? I don't think that we should be having.
It has to do with the way they're being raised. It's a correct way and a wrong way to raise a child.
But am I wrong? Why does a little 8-year-old girl, a 6-year-old girl need weave in their hair, getting fake nails?
So
I think it's the era.
They don't need it.
It's the era that they was raised in.
It's the parents' choice.
But it's the parents' choice, right? But if the mom is a hot ass out here in the streets,
well, the daughter's gonna be a hot ass.
So what I'm going with this is. Kids need to be kids as long as they can be kids. We should be pushing them. I got a partner right now. He probably mad. He probably watching this. I don't give a fuck. His son, 3 years old, and he want to pierce both his ears.
But what's wrong?
I know who's done it when their son was a baby.
He's a little boy. Let him choose if that's what the fuck he want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I agree, Nate.
I just don't think it's let kids be kids, man. We trying to rush them to do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Your kid can recite a little. Your kid can recite a Lil Wayne verse more than they can say their ABCs. That's a problem.
So with the whole earring thing, I'm 1,000,000,000% with you on that one. Like, I definitely don't feel like you.
What's up, Shirley?
But going back to Ms. D said that sheltering, I'm gonna tell you this. And yes, we in a different day and age, but that's why things ain't working out for us because we done changed and altered so much stuff. And keep saying we in a different day and age. First of all, one thing we don't do that our parents used to do for us is take our kids to church. They kept us busy, okay? You was in the
believe that. Yep.
Absolutely right. You're right.
You had to do a Easter rehearsal. You had to remember that. You had to do a Christmas rehearsal. You had to remember that. And then on top of that, they did shelter you. My mom sheltered me so bad that when I first went to college, I got my first cell phone. And I paid the bill, and I thought that was the last time I had to pay the bill. So when my phone got cut off, I went to the place. It was Sprint, and I told them that I had paid my bill and my phone was off, and they had to tell me it was a reoccurring thing that came every month. That's how sheltered I was. But guess what? I told my sister the other day, I thank God for my mother, for sheltering me and putting me in church and keeping me under the blood of Jesus, because that is the reason why I'm able to be where I'm at today. That's how I'm able to recite certain Bible scriptures. That's how I'm able to get on my knees when I need prayer, and I can pray and I can plead the blood of Jesus over my own life, because my mom, she was a praying grandmother. She was a praying mama. And we don't have that no more, because we've gotten so used to doing, oh, well, it's a new day and age and you can't do it that way. Sometimes it's okay to not to try to do a new trick. Just keep doing the old stuff, because it shows that it worked for some of us.
But the realization
I was just gonna say, you also have to realize is that these parents and grandmothers, we back to that, where they're younger.
It is, and
they don't know no better. Like,
I think that's what it is.
Taught, you don't know.
I think that's what it is, because back then, and I agree with Shay, I was riding on the sidewalk until I was 18. I was scared to ride. Even if I got on the curb, I was so nervous that I was gonna get in trouble, because I was gonna get it. So I was riding on this. All my friends riding in the street. I'm 18, riding on the sidewalk on a bike. So it's because I thought I was in a very strict household. Now I really, really appreciate that.
You appreciate
I appreciate having to. I'm playing basketball and I'm like, I think that street light about to get home, and I'm hauling ass.
Oh yeah.
I'm hauling ass and acting like, and then
lights came on.
And then when I get to the house, I'm tiptoeing as if I was outside playing tag or something. I appreciate that. Well, now again, times have evolved, right? So we have to understand that the parents are younger. Back then, I think, my mom was a young mom, but parents was having kids older. I don't know.
They were having them younger, but their parents were older. So they parents.
Yeah.
Back in the days, you had grandmamas who had 20 kids and 15 kids. Right. So their kids was like ages from 4 to like 50. You know what I'm saying? It was like this big gap there. You know what I'm saying? Where you had a whole bunch of kids. Now, your mama, my mama was, I think, the same age when they had us. And my mom was 30 when she had me, but my mom had a husband who was 25 years older than her. Mm-hmm. So we had that stability. We had that firmness in our house. And it's just it's non-existing anymore at all.
I want to touch on something with Shay right quick. I seen situations too where some of the people I know that was sheltered growing up with were the ones that got out here and was socially awkward and doing the dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they was too sheltered. Like as a little boys, we taught, if you fall off that bike, get back up, right? Be tough, right?
That toxic masculinity stuff. Yeah.
But if you constantly sheltering your kid from them not getting that bump and bruise to learn from that, then they get out here in the real world and they got a lot of issues. So I say, well, I'm going to this. I think I'm going to this is I just seen sheltering being
a bad thing.
Yeah. I seen it both sides.
Pam said that too in a comment. She said, "Is it sheltering or is it parenting?" Because I also too, and to her point, I think a lot of our parents back in the day would say, "Hey, I'm going to be strict on this parent." And then a little boy like me was climbing through your window because, they were strict. They thought that, if I do A, B, and C, I keep them strict. Like I remember my first girlfriend, she went to school with my niece, and I'm talking about her parents were strict to that point. But I was still climbing through windows. We were still making we were still doing things.
So to have a strict parent doesn't mean that you're not
doing bad
things.
But that's bad being a strict parent.
But no, it's good and it's bad. Like I could not spend a night over nobody's house until I got 18.
I agree.
I couldn't spend a night at nobody's house either, but a couple of people.
If you wanted to have a sleepover, they had to come over to our house.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
I couldn't wear nails until I was 18. I couldn't wear makeup till I was 18. I couldn't date boys till I was 18. I couldn't talk on the phone to boys till I was 18.
Now that was too strict.
But let me tell you why I don't think it was too strict. I don't think it was too strict for one, because I was almost fearful of, even when I finally had sex and I was like almost 20, I was scared to tell my mom, and I was in college away from her. It definitely taught me to respect my body. It taught me not to be out here just giving it away to anybody. And again, going back to being brought up in church, it says, you train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it. You can go and climb through windows, but God is going to bring that remembrance back to you that, you know what, you're not supposed to do that. And that's where the whole training up, and I'm not mad at my mom for sheltering me. I'm not mad at her, because I'm still 100% that daughter that she wanted, as far as having substance, having respect, knowing how to treat people, being respectful. Yeah, I was a little naive to things, and I got caught up in a few things, but at the end of the day, I was able to come out of those and recover. So I don't regret it.
But see, I think there's a difference between being a strict parent and a sheltering parent. Because you want to be strict on certain things, but some people shelter their kids on certain things, right? So there's a difference. I may be strict, like, hey, you can't go play with little Tim down the street because he's a badass. His parents don't have no rules, right? Or you may be sheltering. I really don't want you riding the bus by yourself. I'm going to pick you up and drop you off to school, type shit.
To me, that's safety.
But some people would say, "Oh, let the kids ride the bus." It's just,
is that my phone or is that Nate's phone?
Oh, Nate, your phone going out.
Your phone went out. Say that again, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Repeat what you just said, because you kind of went out. Yeah, you was doing the mannequin challenge.
Some people may look at that as being strict, or some people may say that you sheltering your kid. Like Shay just said, that's a safety concern. And some people be like, hey, let your kid ride the bus. What's the big deal? But if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's not being like overpowering or being, strict. It's just something that you're doing for your kid.
But I'm gonna be honest. And if my cousins watch this, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. My grandparents and my sister would tell you, my grandparents were strict as hell. And I'm talking about my mom generation. I was so surprised that my mom was a 16-year-old mother because they were strict. But guess what? Wait, no. I think she was pregnant at 15. My grandfather had a shotgun wedding for her. My mom got married at 16. There was no way, even if they didn't like each other back then, that shotgun wedding was true. My mom was married by 16. My grandmother was really strict. Like, I'm talking about so strict, like certain things we just couldn't do in the house. They were strict. But I can remember my homeboys that we played like basketball with was like my girl cousins. We would help them, the boys, climb up on the roof and climb in the window.
What was y'all doing in this famous window that you keep talking about?
So wait. In the back of my grandmother's house, she had like this, it was almost like you climb up on the roof. And if you get on a flat roof, it's easy to come up to the roof. And the girls, the winter, so I didn't sneak people in my grandma's house. When I'm talking about when I did my thing, I was like with my sister and them. But when we were younger, my friends that we played basketball with, we would sneak the boys in with the so because I knew my cousins liked them and they was our homeboys. We helped them sneak in.
Come on, keep telling them what.
And listen, and my grandparents were strict. Also, too, when I was living with my sister, she had a husband at the time, and at the time he thought he was going to be. He used to pick up the phone, and be like, "Hey, it's after 9. Y'all got to get off the phone." And you be on your phone with your little girlfriend or whatever. So what we kids smart. We would unplug the phone from downstairs, right? And so we already knew we're gonna take that phone. He couldn't get on the phone to embarrass us. And we still did what we did. Like I would literally do homework at the table, knowing I skipped school for the past week, acting like I'm doing homework and still skipping school. So I think that having that open relationship, and I commend you on that, Shay, because you said one thing when you talk to Mac, you know how parents say, "Don't ask me why." You allow him to say, "Well, Mom, why would you say that?" Because I think oftentimes saying, hey, I can't ask why. How do you tell a kid? It's almost like taking their rights away from them. But you allow him to say, well, Mom, why would you say that? And you explain to him. And that's one thing I really love that you do. I wish I could say, Grandma, why you say I can't do that? But guess what I would do? If I would ask Grandma, why you tell me no? I'll be on the floor looking up like, okay, we couldn't say that.
My mom didn't like it at all. She hated that McCullen would ask me why. And I felt that it's important to, first of all,
Sam said bring back the sheltering parent. No, Sam, no.
It taught him to have communication skills, that when he was uncomfortable about something,
Mhm.
it was okay to ask why. Many times as adults right now, how many coworkers do you know that don't like something and they can respectfully ask why, but they're afraid to do it? They lack the ability to be courageous enough to go and say, hey, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. And I want to know, why do we have to do it? Or, it's not about me even being uncomfortable. I just don't understand why we have to do this. So I think it's important to teach our children communication skills and teach them that it is okay to ask me why in a respectful manner. Because I was able to see from his whys when I would say one time he asked to go to this party. I didn't want him to get, drive with the guys that they was going to this party because I was scared they were going to be drinking. And he was like, well, why can't I go? And I'm like, I just don't want you riding with them. I don't trust them, to drive you to the party and drive you back home. And he's like, well, you take me. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I can take you, So I took him to the party and I said, call me and I'll come pick you up. That's why you want to ask the whys. It wasn't like he was like, why can't I go? It was just like, Mom, why can't I go to the party? And we begin to have dialogue. So I think it's dialogue. It teaches them confidence. It teaches them the ability to stand up and speak up for themselves when they're uncomfortable and they don't understand why. So that's my reason behind it.
And also too, Miss D, I have to commend you on your parenting as well, because this is a new age, and you allow your daughter to have a boyfriend, but far as certain things she just can't do. And
y'all can't go in that room. We sitting in this living room together because we's a family. It ain't no going in no room.
Right. But I commend
y'all
you
go to the movies, I'm going to. Y'all can sit a couple of rows, but 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna be sitting right next to me. Like, so it's things that I allow her to do that I couldn't do when I was her age.
Oh, for sure. Because damn well, your parent and grandparent won't let you go to no movies.
Huh?
You don't consider that sheltering?
No, I don't.
No, not really.
No.
Look at they say,
hell no. I
don't think
no, that's not sheltering.
Because she allowing her. Because think about back in the day.
Do it when you shelter. They're telling you no, you can't do it. So then at that point, you're sneaking in doing it.
So sheltering is when you say no, or sheltering is when you are prohibiting your child from doing something that you think could be potentially dangerous to them.
Sheltering would be like if Miss D said, no, you can't talk to that little boy.
Yeah, that's sheltering. But she allowed her to have a boyfriend.
Why is that sheltering?
That is sheltering.
Wait a minute, but you just said that it's so to me, it's a certain age where you feel like you should be able to wear weave and nails and all that kind of stuff. So if you tell your a 9-year-old they can't have weave in their hair, is that sheltering or is that parenting?
That's parenting. It's not sheltering.
So if you tell your 16-year-old that she can't date a boyfriend, how is that
that's sheltering? Because guess what? At 16,
they're gonna do it anyway. Whether you tell them,
at 16, you start getting 16, you start knowing you're being aware of your body.
You start smelling your piss.
You start smelling yourself, right? You start smelling yourself.
Look at Shay looking like
I'm like that meme.
But it's true though. But again, you still have to raise your kids with some guidance. But again, you can't be sheltering, because think about it. I remember going to school. I'll see girls come to school with a nice little outfit on. And then guess what they do? As soon as they get in, they run in the bathroom. They got that mini skirt on, red lipstick, shirt tied up in a knot. And I'm like, but I just saw you come in with the little private school little shirt on, button up to the neck, ribbon in your head. Now you got your hair down. So I do believe that this day and age that we are in, we have to be careful of. You want to provide. So the thing is, at the end of the day, you can raise the kid to be the best that they can be, right?
Amen.
All we can do is hope that they're going to make the right decisions, because they can be in a 2-parent household. I know so many kids in 2-parent households that's literally trash or on drugs. And I know so many kids who was raised in a 1-parent household that is excelling out this world. So all I can say is that we can do the best you can do and hope for the best.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Birth control. How do you feel about that? I'll ask Miss D first.
Well, what about birth control?
For your
Is my-
daughter.
Look. Okay, so my daughter is supposed to take birth control, but she won't take it. But she doesn't take it because I don't trust her sexually. It's because her cycle is not regulated. The doctor put on it. It was put on by the doctor. Would I allow her to be on birth control this early? Probably not. I probably wouldn't have made her do birth control until she left going to college. Because that's when I got on birth control, and I wasn't even having sex when I went to college.
So,
but I started when I went.
So okay, so she has a boyfriend that you monitor, but she does go to school.
He does not go to her school.
He doesn't go to her school, but he
No.
goes to school. He's in school, right? Okay. All right. So how do you feel about, so you don't feel that birth control if is appropriate for girls her age, or are you like, how do you feel about birth control, period?
Every child, every girl is different. I don't feel like that my child has to be on birth control, because we have that relationship to where I trust her and she's going to come to me and talk to me and let me know, because we've already had that talk. Hey, when you're ready, let me know. Like, I talk to him like that. Hey, if y'all need some condoms, I got them.
Okay.
Because I'm too young to be a grandma. I'm still trying to party too.
I think putting a kid, maybe, and I'm not a parent, so let me say that. I think putting a kid on birth control almost is like giving them the leeway to go ahead.
Permission.
No, it is not.
See, for me, it will.
I disagree, Kevin.
Okay.
Like, being in the
Exactly.
being in the medical field, and me like having, I guess like having somewhat of a goddaughter who, you know, puberty hits at ages now a little bit different, and they got certain medications, birth control, that kind of curves the cycle. You kind of get what I'm saying? So I don't think it's given a winner to go do it. I think if you given it with education for that body of that person, that child, with education, I think it's a little bit different.
That's why I said every girl is different. Like, if my daughter
right,
didn't have to be on it because they needed her cycle to be regulated, then she probably wouldn't be on it.
And you
because
think about
I trust my child.
Mm-hmm. You got little girls now that's 10 years old that's starting their menstrual cycles at 10, 11.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a different thing. Those medicines, 9, yeah. Those medicines does different things. You know what I'm saying? And
I know
I just look at it different.
I know women who won't put their daughters on birth control because they're too young, and allegedly, but they're still having sex. And it's crazy to me because they say that, well, if I put her on birth control, then I'm telling her that it's okay to have sex. I'm like, no, you're not.
Her. You protecting her from...
It's almost like you're setting her up for failure.
I wouldn't put if I had a daughter at 16, I'm not putting her on that.
Because even if you know she's having sex?
If I know my child having sex, oh yeah, you definitely getting on.
I don't want to know that she's having sex at 16. But however, I'm of the mindset
but you need to know. You are daddy.
I'm like, what?
That's but I'm of the mindset to know, hey, people is having sex. But I also feel like when you put a kid on that, it's almost, for me, and I could be wrong, it feel like it's encouraging it. Okay, I know I can't get pregnant. I'm gonna just throw this thing out. To me, I think it makes. I'm being honest. Like, for me, I knew that having a baby was a scary thing to me. So it was everything for me to make sure that when I was getting down, that I had protection. right? Because I was scared of um having a baby. And I remember if my sister watching, she probably gonna call me. I remember my first girl. So actually, my first time I had sex was 17. It was on after my birthday. She's like, I want to give you something. I thought then I thought then she was pregnant. And I don't know if you guys remember, but remember girls were saying, well, if you pour Kool-Aid in yourself, it would kill the baby. Do y'all remember when they was talking about that?
I don't remember that.
So she came up with this thing like, because the condom broke, and she's like, well, I know if you pour Kool, it was just something crazy. But again, that scared me from having sex for like a whole year after that. Because so I think that if you put a kid on, we're in a new era. But I think if
babies out here somewhere,
I don't. I mean, nobody came forth yet.
You just said the condom broke.
But that was then. Yeah, I would have known that.
History check.
I know, but I think that
got a baby.
I think that putting the kid, I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't have say like I would ask like so be honest. I would be that parent to be like, so hey, what's going on? Are you trying to have sex? Is there are you? I would be asking that. Maybe she wouldn't share that with me, but if she say, Dad, I want a boyfriend, I would let her have a boyfriend. Because I'm of the mindset 16, 17, you graduate next year. I would let her have a boyfriend. And if she wanted to go to the movies, I'm like Miss D. I'll let you sit in the front row. I can be in row 29, but I'm gonna be in that same room.
He gonna be on row 1.
He gonna be right
with her. She gonna be on C2.
Because I think you can be too strict on a kid. You want to be able to have a relationship where she can come to you and say, Mom or Dad, I did this, or he say, Dad or Mom, I did this. You don't want to be too strict, and then they doing all this stuff, and you looking like, well, I dropped you off at school. Yeah, you dropped me off at school, but I jumped in the car somewhere else, and you know what I mean? Like you want to have a relationship where you can be open and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah. Any final thoughts? Because we like 3 minutes over. Any final thoughts, y'all? What's your final thoughts on it?
I'm glad I don't have no kids out there, man.
Me too, Nate. I'm so well. You don't know yet. I don't know, Nate.
Shade, Nate. You gonna let him buy that shade like that?
Hey, listen. Are you 100% sure? So yeah.
Hey, he the one who said the condom broke.
Hello.
He said the condom broke, so he might have a kid out there.
I'm 100% sure.
Right.
That's okay, Miss D. We gonna figure out who this girl that he was sneaking in that window at his grandma's house, climbing on the roof.
So that was at my sister's house, and my brother-in-law caught me.
And he done it more than once.
Okay.
But listen, in my current relationship, I don't have to worry about that because ain't no babies happening. Okay, ain't no babies happening.
He's a frequent climber.
Right.
Frequent flyer, okay.
Freaking climber miles, right?
With broken condoms, okay.
Listen, I was scared after that. I wasn't worried about that. But yeah, this was really, really eye-opening. What's up, Auntie Jean? How you doing? She said, "Get him, nephew." This was really eye-opening. And you know, parenting is different. I'm gonna be honest. I thank God that I don't have any children raising a kid in this era because I don't know how I would be. I would be nervous. But I do want to commend both Shay and Miss D on raising a great young man and a great young lady. I know both of them, and I think that they are great. I'm gonna still call them kids, even though they're young adults. They're kids. Great kids and young adults, and I think they are destined to be something great. And I think it's because of y'all parenting, allowing them some leeway, but not too much, because in this society, they can get so consumed with what they see on social media. So I want to commend both of you ladies on doing such a great job being single mothers and doing y'all thing. So I don't think you guys get enough credit for that. So I'm personally going to say, great job to that.
Thank you. It's some praying grandmothers and praying mothers.
Hello, you better say it.
All right. Any last thoughts, which I want to leave the people with?
Raise your kids.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Miss Shay.
Parenting don't come with a handbook. It's no right or wrong way. Experience will be the teacher in the lessons of parenting.
Amen. Hey, Auntie D, how you doing? What you got for us, Miss D?
I'm letting Nate go.
Oh, go ahead, Nate.
No, I won't let
Nate strict as hell.
Nate, come on, go. You got
Nate
it.
gonna have his kids in a bunker.
Hey, love your kids. Love your kids. Love your nieces and nephews. I don't want your nephew trying to run up on me, trying to rob me. Teach them some respect. Teach your girls, they know to be. Just you know what? Let me lead on this note. Let kids be kids as long as we allow them to be kids.
Amen. Because I wish I could be a kid and not pay bills.
Don't force them to grow up out here Nina popping and shaking their ass and shit and robbing trying to be a dope boy. Let's teach them that they can be something in life. Kids,
Amen.
if you listen out there, you can be whatever you want to be.
Facts.
I know I can. Remember this song?
Yeah.
What I want to be.
Right. What you gonna leave us with, Miss D?
I'm going to say this. I think I'm going to say this. I normally have something to say. I don't even have anything to say tonight, y'all. But I think I'm going to say this. Communication is big, whether it's with your child, your friends, your spouse, whoever it may be. Always keep that communication line open so that your child is safe and secure, so that your child feels safe and secure coming to you and talking to you.
That's what's up. I'm gonna leave off with saying this. Parenting doesn't mean blood, right? I think we all have a responsibility. Either you're an aunt, you're an uncle, I'm an amazing uncle, a cousin, whoever you are, you can impact the kid's life. You don't necessarily have to be the mom or dad. And I would say step up. If you see your sister, cousin, friend need a little help, it's okay to lend that support and say, hey, I'll step in for this and I'll step in for that. So parenting doesn't always mean biological mother and biological father. We all have a role as a parent to ensure that kid have a productive life. And I will make sure it does. It most definitely take a village. And
I just want to leave on this note too, Kevin.
Go ahead, brother.
While we are here, I believe the children of the future. Teach the world and let them lead the world. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter.
Right. Hey, listen, his album is dropping on Bearded Man Records tomorrow. But listen, guys, this is it. We appreciate you guys. We 8 minutes out, going into 9. We greatly appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys for watching us each and every week. 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. And if you're on the Pacific Coast, you guys are going to be here early. But I greatly appreciate my panel because, again, I cannot do this without you 3 amazing people. And I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. And I cannot say thank you enough. It's important. And it's imperative that we not only have one perspective, that we have a broad perspective. And I really, truly appreciate you guys. I just want you to know that this show is not a show without you guys. And I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. On that note, don't forget, if you're on Facebook, you better share because I'm about to go to Facebook and see who's sharing it. I'm going to go to YouTube to make sure who's liking and subscribing. Make sure you guys are doing that. We'll see you guys next week.
Dad's go to bed.
And we love you guys. Facts. Go to bed. We'll see you guys next week, same time. We love you guys. And on that note, we out, y'all. Peace out. Peace.